will.
What will ever
All
do
right.
to you?
Welcome. Here we go again. Episode numero 1, technically, because we had our test pilot, and you're not a stud muffin. Anyways, welcome to the show. To still soon to be named, but that may change actually. But this is B-Dub. That is Tommy K, and that is Dr. Lib.
Howdy.
And I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys
Yep.
had a good week. I mean, it's been a very interesting week. But speaking of that, I was talking about the shows soon to be named, and I thought I'd actually start off with, I put a poll out there, and we got some votes actually,
Wow.
and we may actually have a name for our show. Stop it. Anyway,
I'm not allowed to talk.
but you're still talking. Anyways, so I put the poll out there last week. I'll pull it up on my other screen here. Of course, we said, what should the new show be called? And of course, our choices were the Fractured Philosophy, and I'm not going to say the names.
Oh, come on.
No,
That's
the
part
weird-
of the fun.
That's got to be our name then. That has to be the show
No.
name.
That's the fun.
let me get through it. The We is Smart Podcast, Silly Minds Unplugged, Perspiring Minds Want to Know, and Laughing Matters Podcast. Well,
Dun,
there was a
dun, dun.
tie on this poll. I have two polls going. On this poll between Fractured Philosophy and Silly Minds Unplugged. Now, I put a poll on YouTube as well, where our video, where our first episode, our test pilot episode, that didn't crash and burn actually, is on there. And we got one vote. And that one vote went to
Dun, dun,
Silly
dun.
Minds Unplugged.
Ugh.
So, as of right now, Silly Minds Unplugged is in the lead.
Are you praying, Tom?
He's in deep thought with Tommy K.
That takes a while.
I'll get back with you on
there's
that.
no smoke. There's no smoke going yet, so we should be good right now.
I'm good with that, or I'm good with letting it go for a week or two more. But
I mean, we can go
like I
another
said, I
week
like
and
all
see.
of them. So,
And see
Really?
what happens. I mean, but so far that's where
but that's
we're
not
at.
the one I voted for. But it's a good one.
Well, remember we pretty much liked the 5 that were on there. So
Mhm.
I mean, I know that some of us liked more, ones more than others. Yes.
I can't believe I'm raising my hand to ask
I don't
a
know
question
why.
on a radio
Well, I'm glad
show.
I'm glad that you are though, because that way we're not. I'm glad that you are, so that way we're not talking over one another. But go ahead.
So correct me if I'm wrong. There are 3.
Oh,
of
we're not
us.
supposed to talk over one another.
Preferably not.
Sorry.
Now you know how to shut me up.
Go ahead.
So there's 3 of us.
Yes.
That means there would be a 2-to-1 majority rules, correct? And so I think the majority ruling is, and I speak on behalf of Gary, I'm assuming.
I know
that
where you're going with this, and
we would love to have the title of the show that just is so tongue-tied for you, B-Dub, that
You know what?
we would just laugh the entire show.
Then you know what? If
Yeah.
that happens, then you're going to be introducing the show every time.
Just to say the name incorrectly.
Yes. Because I'm not doing it. I'm just putting that out there.
Can you get that in writing, it like your contract?
Oh, I could definitely put that in writing. That's not a problem. But we'll give it one more week,
Okay.
and then if it stays the way it is, or if it whatever it is at the end,
I mean, that's what we
Going
kind of
into next
agreed.
week's-
So,
going to next week's episode, then we will go from there.
but I mean, it's kind of silly to say we're
I'm
unplugged.
praying that it's not the difficult one for me.
Oh, please.
Well, each one of us could say our name if it ended up being that. So obviously
true.
he's hairless Stottle. So Tom is hairless Stottle, obviously.
There's so many jokes.
I'm
out there.
hairless Stottle.
Well,
No,
duh.
Okay, what is B Dub?
Well, he can have whichever one he wants.
You
Mediocrity.
know what? Tom's name. There's so many jokes. So many jokes. I'll just leave it at that.
All I have to say is bring it, buddy. Bring it.
Oh, I will.
Oh,
Oh, I will.
and that has been
I
our final
will.
episode.
Anyways, let's
Yeah,
let's
Yeah.
so
Yes,
We'll go
GL.
so
Sorry.
we'll leave that out there for another week, and then
All right.
we'll decide from there.
Talk
So
to your
anyways,
friends,
you
Tom.
I will post it. I'll put it. I'll link it to this video, and also, and I've been using.
Gary, I'm covering up B Dub so he doesn't hear me.
I love when I
We-
get interrupted.
let
and I can't
us
talk.
let us outweigh the polls and select, the one that will really bother
what's-
him the most.
You know
You'll
what's
never
funny,
know.
folks? You know what's funny, folks, is what they don't realize, and the fact that I'm saying this and they can hear me, is you can vote as many times as you want.
I couldn't. I tried. Whoops.
I mean,
You wait, say that again. You can.
I
vote
thought you
as
set
much
it up
as
so
you
we
want,
couldn't.
or you can't.
you
Which
should
is
be
it?
able to.
You should be able to. Okay.
I mean,
B Dub, we're just doing this out of love and hilarity.
Yeah, I'm
It
actually
just-
okay with any of the titles.
it- Well, I'm not going
Fine.
to agree with you on that, Gary, but
Well, fine. Be that way.
let me okay.
Once again,
so
you're
we can get
wrong.
okay, so we can get into this week's topic. Let me get through this.
yes, sir.
I'll put the poll link in the description section of our video. Also, I will post it again on social media after this episode. Well, they don't know when this episode is, but I'll post it as soon as I can so it can get a little bit more traction and hopefully get out there. I am using our Therapy for the Mind social media pages and stuff for this as well as our personal one, so that kind of will give us a little bit more
Ooh.
audience participation, hopefully.
Okay, so Therapy for the Mind was our original program.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And whenever you saw it in print, it was always all caps.
Yeah.
So what if we call it Therapy for the Mind, but in all lowercase lettering? Because it's a smaller version.
And we're past the nomination stage. We already got the finalist.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
I know you're trying. I know you're
I'll
trying.
go back to this mode.
No, because I need you for this next one for our
Okay.
topic for today. So our topic for today, since it is football season, which is a great time of year for many people, I want to talk about your live game experience, and that could be pro, college, high school, whatever. What are your? We'll start with the first one. What are your likes and dislikes of both? I mean, first of all, let's do this. Has everyone been to a pro, college, and high school game?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we all
All,
have been to a
all on the
pro-
same day. No.
That's one hell of a day. Okay, so we've all been have seen a pro, college, high school game. So we can start. Let's do each level. Likes and dislikes of high school football.
The atmosphere, the bands.
Are these likes?
Oh yeah.
These are likes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have, but yeah, the atmosphere, the bands, the crowd, the kind of camaraderie with people sitting around you. We're talking live.
Small
Some of
town feel.
small town feel, at least at least from where we're at. There's kind of a purity, I guess. As far as the sports is concerned, with high school football more than anymore with college and pro, if there's a distinction anymore. But also my dislikes would probably be that you can get some really bad officiating crews in there that seems to
Mm,
not know the rules. That stops play, every 5 or 10 minutes, and has to huddle for every call. And you're like, dude, the guy jumped off sides and knocked the guy in front of him down and jumped up and down on him. It's kind of obvious what the
yeah.
call is. Why are you even huddling? But that's one of my dislikes. And then people that like are just nasty about the players who are only high school kids who
Hmm.
are saying, "Hey, you big, the so and so. Why did you miss that tackle?" Or that is a big dislike.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Can I add to that, Gary? I,
Yes,
I,
you
I
can
agree with you.
and will.
It doesn't matter. I'm still going to, right? Yeah, with what you just said, I think that's one thing, in the amateur realm, because they're not professional, whether high school or even college, the fan base sometimes that is to me a very huge annoyance that when people get down on these non-professional players,
Hmm.
for missing a shot or whatever, they just get on their case so badly. It's like they're kids. Yeah, at college level, they're 20-year-olds and all that stuff. They're still kids, though.
Hmm.
I think that's the one part that I
That's
dislike about the amateur level, if you will,
Hmm.
is because
Yeah.
it's a joke.
yeah.
I mean, it's kids. They're still in the growing level. Give them a chance.
That's
Hmm.
what I
Once they
was.
get paid, yeah, then you can lay on them. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, I think that's the biggest negativity in sports for high school and college is when the fan base just goes nuts over
Mm.
bad plays or it's mistakes, whatever. That's all.
You need some
Yeah.
likes. You got any likes, or do you just all have dislikes?
I, personal experiences, my senior year in high school,
Are we doing personal experiences now, or was that another?
or
That's what I was going to ask because I kind of was
oh,
wondering.
yeah, I guess that is a different
That's a different one. Yeah, that's
cloud.
a different
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Let's just do likes and dislikes right now, for each. So likes. So you have any likes for high school
Me? Yeah,
or
I
just
mean,
for any?
I I agree with Gary. The band
Yeah.
can be a big part. Well, where we live, the band is very huge with
Hmm.
participation. I mean, it's almost well. A few years back, I remember when the team wasn't so good,
Yeah.
everybody came out for the band,
Yeah, that
kind
is
kind of
true.
thing.
That is true.
Um, the band director is very well known and very uh, directive and just he has to be.
Sorry. Very,
No,
the
that's
very directive band director that directs things directly.
No, a band director that's undirective.
Yeah.
Oh, can I write
They-
that down under a
yeah.
Tomism again?
Yeah.
um, college, I enjoy the college level just because
Well,
competitive.
We're not on college yet.
okay.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Let me talk
Well, I'm
about high
kidding.
school.
I thought
Well,
you. I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
kind of piggyback off both of you guys with both likes and dislikes. And I kind of said it during Gary's when came to likes. Uh, you know, being in a small town. I mean, being in a suburb, having that small town feel when you go to the home games, uh, being at your own field and stuff, and just having that kind of feeling and stuff. Like my dislike, going piggyback off of Tommy K, is the parents that are so aggressive when it comes to the bad calls what the refs are
Mm,
doing or what the coaches are, or their own kids, and just don't really need to be there. Just their attitudes.
yeah.
They just want to bring a negative emotion to the atmosphere that's around there, and they just don't need to be there. And that's it. That's what makes it so hard. And it's not only at the high school level; it's at every level. Truthfully, that this happens at, but it's just like it starts there
Right.
when it comes to that. But
Yep.
anyways, so moving on to college. Um, Tom, if you want to start off your story with likes and dislikes. No, because Gary
Unzip.
started with no, Gary started with the likes and dislikes for high school. Tom can start with college.
I like the college level as far as just the growth, from
Yeah.
high school, just the next level up. Very competitive. I sometimes get, we'll say within the last 10, 15 years, ballpark, I've sometimes have felt even steered away from really following the college level because it gets too in depth for me emotionally.
Mm,
It's like, oh, my team lost. Well, they're out of it. You lose
yeah.
one time and you could be out of it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is could be a
Becomes too personal.
frustrating thing. Um, but I do love the College Bowl season or whatever.
Hmm.
I haven't watched. I'm more of a basketball fan, so March Madness is more my thing. But
Hmm.
football wise, yeah, I enjoy the college level. I do enjoy watching college games that are neither team I'm a big supporter of. That it's
Yeah.
just kind of nice to watch how somebody else is playing,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
I guess. And traditions to see, like the tradition games or
Hmm.
whatever they're called, trophy games kind
Hmm.
of thing are kind
Yeah.
of nice. So I'm done.
Okay. All right. I'll do my likes and dislikes for college. My likes, the atmosphere is great. With when it comes to college games, because it you don't get it with professional and you don't get it with high school. It's just that type of atmosphere, being there for college game day and experiencing all that. My biggest dislike as I've gotten older, and I'm putting my age involved in this, is especially for like Ohio Stadium. I cannot do the bench seating. I cannot sit there for 4 hours on a bench seat. It just hurts my back. It just
Hmm.
makes it for a miserable time. And this is more like a
Sounds like a personal problem.
well, no, and I'm not, and it probably is. But that's a dislike for me. Being on a bench seat. You know, for someone who has a bad back, that can make a bad experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard. You have to, at some points I have to get up and walk around just to, and it makes me miss out on the game. I hear the crowd cheering. I'm like, what the hell happened? And I have to go to a TV screen to figure out what happened. It's like you lose out on it. It's like if I'm going to watch it on the TV, I might as well just stay at home. So it's like,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's my biggest dislike is in a lot of the stadiums that have that bench seating. And I know that's like a stupid dislike, but
No, no, it's not.
No,
at this
it's makes sense.
at the
Absolutely.
same time, it's just that's my personal dislike when it comes
Hmm.
to it. But
Hmm.
that's kind of where
So
I'm.
so then maybe you need to just fork over even gobs more money to
It's like
get the
they get the stadium
armchair.
seating. Yeah, get the
Yeah.
stadium seating that they offer. Yeah, I know because I've seen that in a lot of the stadiums. They have those seats and stuff that you have to pay like $20-$30 for. And it's like not everybody has that kind of cash, or is alumni, and you're just going for one game. So unless you can actually take it in with you, which some of them allow, some of them don't. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are or policies. It depends. But anyways,
I want to interject, but I don't want to take away from Gary. So interjecting.
Do that off screen. This is a
uh,
family show.
Here
go
goes
ahead, Gary.
Tom.
Oh.
Go ahead, Gary.
All right. So, obviously, I haven't been as many college games as I had high school games, but a lot of the same things that you guys are talking about, and really a lot of the same things at the high school games, is the atmosphere and the camaraderie or the fellowship or whatever is not as good as it is at high school because you really don't know the people. But you do have a tendency to start talking to people around you that even though you don't know them, as the game goes on and so on and so forth. And the same thing, and it don't bother me as much the criticism that's given to college players as it does for high school players, especially nowadays since college players are actually getting paid,
Yeah.
in some cases millions of dollars. But that's to a point. So that is one thing I hate when people cross that line when they start talking about kids' families or just calling them horrible things and stuff like that. Criticism is one thing, but when you get vulgar and stuff like that, I don't like that. And honestly, I don't like. I don't have anything against beer or anything else like that, but I don't like the drinking at the college stadiums, and because you always end up having somebody in your section that's a drunk and obnoxious and supposed to, and you take some people take their families and stuff, and I agree with you about the bench seating at Ohio Stadium. I went to a game at Purdue
Yeah.
in West Lafayette. That was horrible. You didn't even know where your seat was most of the
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And especially the visiting stands at West Lafayette, all scrunched in and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and you basically almost had to stand the whole game. And like right now, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'm older now and my back gets to hurt. And I'm just like you on that. But so a lot of the other stuff are the same, likes like the bands and the traditions, and if you go to a high state game and you're lucky enough to sit in the end zone where the whole team comes over and do Carmen, Ohio at the end of the game, it's just an amazing experience and amazing
Yeah.
feeling. But pretty much it's kind of my likes and dislikes for college football, and like I said, it's becoming more and more professional football now anyway, and that's kind of
Yeah. I
put a
think
little
it's
bit of
kind of.
tarnish on it, I guess.
I think it's kind of eclipsing college or pro football. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
When it comes to it. But speaking of pro football, we'll do the likes and dislikes, and I'll start this one out, and then we'll go to Gary. Likes and dislikes for pro football. I mean, truthfully, live experience. Um, again, it's all the atmosphere. I mean, it's a different atmosphere than college and high school. Um, it depends on what teams are playing. I mean, the only pro games I've been to are the Bengals games, and the teams that we played were Baltimore and I think the Steelers was the other one. So of course the atmosphere for both games is going to be completely. I mean, they're rival teams, but it's still going to be kind of different being in the jungle for both those games. So for me, the likes is the atmosphere, and the dislikes kind of goes back to what we're saying about people drinking, and the and
Well,
I'm talking
that
about
was kind of ironic timing.
I'm talking about alcohol, drinking and being
What?
drunks while they're at the game.
Hmm.
That's probably a big dislike because I think I don't know if you can kind of weigh the if it's worse in college or pro, but it's about probably about the same. I mean, I don't know, but it's people's attitudes. It kind of goes back to the whole what I said with the high school thing, with people's attitudes and stuff, and it's bringing a different environment and emotion to everyone around them. So that would probably be my dislike. So, anyways,
Hmm.
Gary.
Okay, so I haven't been to very many either, and all the pro games I've been to has been the Bengals. We went. It's the experience and the likes and dislikes are different, and I think me and B Dub talked about this a little bit before Tommy K come on, but it depends on who you're playing, and a lot of times it depends on where you're sitting because I've been to a game that we were sitting about halfway up, and it was against Baltimore. It was a Thursday night game, and oh my goodness, it was a playoff atmosphere, and like people around us were screaming and hollering and all night long, and it was a back and forth game, and it was an amazing experience. But then I also have been to a game where I was in the so-called nosebleed seats, clear up to the top, behind the speakers. Even that's how high up we were. We were behind the
Wow.
speakers. You couldn't even hardly hear the announcements because all the sound was going out away from us. You couldn't hardly see unless you had binoculars, and you really couldn't see that well with binoculars unless you was looking at the screen. So that was
Hmm.
not a very good experience. So to the amount of people, and this kind of applies to college too, but the amount of people they pack into these stadiums, by the time you get up there, up towards the top, I think it's a decreasing experience. The higher you get, the higher up you
Yeah.
get, and of course, the drinking is another thing that I mean, I've been at the beginning of a Bengals game, and there's people in the bathrooms puking because they'd already drank so
Their
much
tailgates.
but before the game even started, and I'm just like, are you even joking me? And again, this is supposed to be a place where you take your family and stuff like that, and the prices, oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Even now it's just like high prices, but honestly I'd rather watch them at home. So
Yeah. What's even expensive at the college level too? It seems
yeah, but
like.
it ain't expensive at home. So
No, no, it's not. It ain't.
yeah, it is
Bottle
expensive now.
bottle of water is not $7.50 at home.
But
No.
you can go to a smaller college football game for a reasonable price. I mean, you ain't going to go see Ohio State for a reasonable price, but Wilmington College or some
Duquesne.
yeah, yeah. So and which is really fun because the competition is the same.
No.
So anyway, Tommy K.
You just remember when the kiddo went to UC, University of Cincinnati, holds what, 65,000, I think,
Hmm.
ballpark. I really enjoyed going to those games because you didn't feel like, a minute detail
Yeah.
amongst all, you know what I'm saying? It was like you had more room to work or get in line, et cetera, et cetera. Go to Ohio State game, go to a Michigan game, hundreds of thousands of
It's true.
people,
Yep.
and it can be tough.
Hmm.
Like a workout just to go to use the restroom or to get a pretzel or something, so
Yep.
I agree with you, Gary. Some college games, go to just to get that smaller atmosphere, but still have a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
Yeah.
of. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Okay, pro wise, excuse me,
He's all choked up.
too much.
See, this is what happens. You start talking pro, and he just gets all choked
Oh,
up.
I hate
Yeah.
when that happens. Yeah, I get choked up. I do. I really do.
You gonna make
Talk
it?
amongst yourselves.
Oh, that can be arranged.
I'm
Pro
glad you're
wise.
covering your mouth because I don't want to get your germs.
Pro level, the pros and cons.
There are some cons that are pros.
That's an
That is true.
oxymoron.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the pros. I probably enjoy the college level more sometimes, but
Hmm.
again, basketball's my favorite sport. But I've been to a couple pro games, been to a playoff game, the Browns Bills many moons ago. It was such a great time.
Hmm.
Just the Browns won that game, and I was a Browns fan at the time before they
Hmm.
moved.
Boo.
Um,
He said before they moved.
Oh well.
there, is that better, Gary? Um,
It said Bo.
oh, was it backwards?
Bo who?
There.
Uh,
I, I don't know what to say. I do know that when I watch pro games, I don't get as, I guess, aggravated or nervous or whatever you want to call it because the playoff system. You want your team to make the playoffs,
yeah.
even if you lose 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, whatever. They still have a chance.
Yeah.
The college level, and that's a whole nother discussion, with the college championship thing. And that's been going on for years as far as they need to make it better, blah, blah, whatever. But pro level, there's still that opportunity. Even though your team loses a game or whatever, like I said, there's still that opportunity. So there's still hope, if you will.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't get as heated up, I guess, internally. For me, that's a good thing if you know me. A whole nother story.
That's a whole
But
other episode.
yeah, watching the pros, it can be a lot of fun. I will say it, Super Bowl was great watching the commercials. That has diminished.
That's not
Yeah.
you aren't that you don't see the commercial. You're not seeing the commercials when you're live, so you're just seeing a crappy halftime show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too commercialized. It seems sometimes.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
that's a downside. It's like, okay, just play the game. We don't. They put all this emphasis, like you said, on a halftime show that
Mhm.
is more
It's
of a
like an hour long.
disappointment. Yeah, an hour long. No, let's get back to the game or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, yeah,
But
people like us can't afford to go to the Super Bowl anyway unless we get
so
sponsored
true.
or win
Yeah.
tickets or thousands and thousands of dollars
Heck,
for the
even if
worst
we win
seats.
tickets, you're paying for something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yep.
Hey, the show that's still looking for a name, going to the Super Bowl.
Press
let's
pass.
call this the Super Bowl bound show.
The Super Bowl bound show.
Help
So
these
is that-
three mugs.
So you got see, was that your dislike? So you're good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Best and worst game, and that could be at an A level. Let's start with the best. This is
Wow. That could be hard. That's almost like for me, like saying, "What's your favorite
No, yeah,
rock
I know.
band?" Kind of
that's
thing.
That's why I threw it out there, because it's one of those things. I mean, you can have a honorable mention if you want to, if there's more than one.
All three levels, or
All three levels. I mean, just best.
Live? Are we still talking live?
Yeah, still live.
Okay.
Yeah. Live overall.
Well,
gosh,
I'll
I
start.
got one for all three. Go ahead, Gary.
No, okay. The game with that I mentioned earlier with Cincinnati Bengals and Baltimore, which was a Thursday night game,
Okay.
and it was a night game, and it was just special because, like I said, it was back and forth, and
Yeah.
we had some Baltimore fans sitting around us, and we was having fun with them, and it was just the atmosphere and the excitement was just like off the roof. It was just amazing, and I left there very satisfied. Uh, Plus, I got free tickets to go there, so that was a good thing to begin with.
That was a plus.
So that was a plus, and then
Win-win all around.
I guess my honorable mention would have to be local high school, Washington Courthouse. Game against our local rival, and weren't expected to win. Had been beaten by our local rival several years in a row, and they just had a kickoff return for a touchdown that actually won the game for them, and then that propelled them to like the next 3 or 4 years that our local team won, or I should say my local team, and just that one game just kind of stands out in my mind with it was amazing because everybody around you, the people that are sitting around you, and so it was even almost to the same level as the playoff level of the professional game. But yeah, those are my two probably.
Okay. Tom again.
High school level. When I was in high school, it's a big memory, I guess. My senior year, got the crowd to follow me in the chant. We spell out the team name. Give me an R, give me an E. That one of those. I got to lead one of those. I mean, I just was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and it was just so cool. Like, the hair on your back raised or neck, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on my rug.
Okay,
That was just a big.
We won't go there.
I was gonna say we're not gonna go there.
You know what's kind of beat up? I don't know if you noticed. We're in a squirrel moment, but looking at Gary's picture, he kind of looks like he's Han Solo steering the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon.
Pew, pew.
So what's that make us?
I,
Well, you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, beat up.
Who? I do. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
And Tommy K looks like Darth Vader.
I was gonna say C-3PO.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of true too. Anyway, wow, that was a squirrel.
Anyways, continue.
College, I think. Well, growing up a Michigan fan, my first game to University of Michigan football game was just, going to your first college game, big time college game, and you're like in awe. You know what I mean? I was 12, something like that. I forget how old, but going to that was probably a big highlight for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pro, do we? Do we?
No, he just
Oh,
said,
just
well, you
one or
can
two.
if you want, I guess, but he
I
said
I
the
guess.
best
Well,
I
the
said best overall.
best overall, and then a
oh,
runner
okay.
up. But
In third place, then. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Real quick though, when the Browns played the Bills, and it was like the first, like a wild card game or whatever, Bernie Kosar days. Me and a buddy in college, we were going to go to the game, on Saturday, I think it was. We were up all night Friday playing Zelda until like 3 in the morning. And then we got up at like 6:30 to drive to Cleveland, which was, 3 hours
3
away.
hours, yeah.
To get there in time for the kickoff, whatever. It was just a nonstop. I don't know why we had to play Zelda, but we did.
Did you play
very
this
late.
on NES or N64? I mean, not that it matters, but I'm just
Atari 1600.
he probably doesn't remember.
Pong.
That's what he remembers.
Yeah.
No, it was on Nintendo. The original, like
The
Super
original
Nintendo
NES,
or
okay.
whatever it was
Yeah,
called.
NES. Sorry, I was getting my little game.
Yeah. What about you, B-Dub?
Best
Okay, thank you.
overall, again, best overall. As I always get interrupted. Thank you very much. I would probably have to pick, because I've probably been to more college games, and the only reason why is because I used to actually be an usher for Ohio State when I was a Boy Scout.
Oh, wow.
So I got to see a lot of games in the Earl Bruce and a little in the John Cooper era. So I'd probably have to say, I want to say the last Earl Bruce game when they fired him and the team came together and beat Iowa, I believe it was, because they were just having a bad season. And it wasn't anything. They weren't playing for anything except for the coach, and that's all it was. I mean, it wasn't. And it just was a different type of atmosphere during that game compared to any other game that I've ever been to.
Didn't the band go and play at his house? He was kind of a beloved coach, even when they fired him. Didn't the band like go play at his house or something like that?
Yeah. I actually met him back in 2014. He came by the Ohio Media School, and I actually got to meet him because he came into the school, and I introduced myself. I said, what can I help you with? Hey, I'm here to do something. He was there to do an interview.
I'm here to do something.
Well, no, he was here to do an interview for. He's like, I said, oh, no, I think I asked him, do you know where you're going? And he's like, yeah, I do. Like almost like to kind of shoo me away, like, why are you bugging me? Type thing. I'm like,
yeah.
I just was trying to help you out. I mean, but he was nice. He was nice, but no, that was probably my best experience. So, worst game overall.
Oh,
well, I remember it was the third period at the Red Wings. Oh, not hockey.
Worst football game.
Oh boy, can we take a TV timeout to think?
Well, I can go because that's easy, kinda, because there's a lot of bad high school games that I've been to, but not just I wouldn't call them the worst games because that's the way high school goes. One year you're on top of the mountain, the next year you're clear down in the valley because that's just the nature of the. But I'm still a fan no matter what, and I can't really say that I really have a worst game as far as high school. But one Bengals games I went to was Bengals versus Pittsburgh, and it was that old Riverfront Stadium, and not only was the team bad, and not only was there a lot of stupid, terrible towels in the audience. It was a home game for Cincinnati, and like it were
Yeah.
inundated by terrible towels. And it was during a time I think when the well early 2000s, I believe, when the Bengals was really horrible, and it's raining, it's pouring, and the
People being
Bengal
snoring.
fans were snoring. It was horrible, and people were, and Corey Dillon was on the team. I mean, Corey Dillon was like amazing runner.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was a horrible blocker. I used to watch him all the time, and he would just let guys just go right by him in the backfield and sack the quarterback. He didn't. I don't think he really cared about anything, but if he had the ball, and I just started watching him. And Jr. was my son was with me, and I'm like, look at him. I said, he's not doing anything except when he gets the ball. And I'm just sitting there. I was just so disappointed in the performance and the weather and the amount of money that you had to pay to get in, all that stuff, the traffic you had to go through to get to the stadium. And it was a really not a good experience. So that was definitely my worst live football experience.
Okay.
I guess one more. Can I have a?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
guess my runner up would be I went to watch the other local team, Miami Trace, in a playoff game. They had already won one, and this playoff game was at Dayton at Welcome Stadium in Dayton,
Yeah.
and they were playing this just huge Catholic school from up in Northeast Ohio, Northwest Ohio. I can't remember the team really, but that doesn't really matter. And it wasn't even the game. The Miami Trace was getting beat pretty good, and I was there with a friend that graduated from Miami Trace. My friend was 6'6", about 325 pounds, huge guy. So we're sitting here watching the game, and you know, it wasn't going great for Miami Trace, but it wasn't out of hand or anything. But anyway, the starting quarterback for the other team got hurt bad to where they had to call the ambulance in to come and get him. And then the gates and everything are such at the Welcome Stadium that they had to take a long route around. It took a long time. It was a long break in the game, and they finally got the ambulance out on the field. And there's a guy, and he was on our, he was rooting for Miami Trace and stuff like that, and he was sitting in front of us, and he starts yelling, "Why are you guys taking so long? You need to get him out of there and get this game going back." On and on and on. And finally, my friend, the 6'7", 300-pound giant, looks at him and says, "Shut up and sit down," which was kind of an awesome thing. But that guy, the guy, just ruined kind of the atmosphere of a playoff game and stuff like that. So I guess that was my second worst game.
Okay.
Yeah, with that said, Gary, we probably have some sort of story or whatever. You like the Bengals Bills when the Bills cornerback Hamlin,
Yeah.
when he went down, I don't. I remember how hush the crowd was, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And it always seems like I'm just using that as an example, but I've been to some games where you have just like that guy at Welcome Stadium, where it's like it's kind of a selfish attitude
Oh yeah.
kind of thing. It's like, let's time out here, take a pause. Someone's hurt,
Hmm.
kind of thing. That to me is a downer.
Hmm.
For any sporting event whatsoever, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, we need to pause for a moment and think about it's a person,
Yeah.
blah
Yeah,
blah
it's not
blah.
about a
I
game
I
anymore.
dislike that.
I remember the Penn State player that got hurt in the Ohio State game, and that was the same exact thing, just silence, and like they continued to kind of honor this guy even the next year when they played
Yeah.
Penn State. The Ohio State team kind of honored the fellow. I think he had a spinal injury or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because he has like a foundation or something,
Hmm.
I believe.
Crazy.
So,
That's all I had to say
Yeah.
about it.
okay. What's your? Did you have one?
I've been to games where
Oh,
you've
okay.
had
So you don't
that
have
from
it,
crowd members, and it's just like
but you don't have.
you just want to
That's
yell
your.
out, "Shut up,"
Yeah.
or "Go home," whatever.
Hmm.
So you don't have a
So
worst game.
I I I mean, yeah. Anytime you go to a game to watch your favorite team and they lose, can be a worse game, if you will.
But none that stick out.
None that really stick out right now.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I have one that sticks out. It's a Bengals game, but it doesn't stick out well enough that and it's kind of in Gary's realm, where it was at Riverfront Stadium. It was during the 2000s when they sucked, and
Were you guys at the same game?
I don't know. We could have been. I don't know, but all I remember is we were up in like the upper part of Riverfront Stadium, and I was like in the end zone, and that's all I remember. I don't even know. I don't know. That's how bad the game was.
I believe that.
I mean,
Funny.
That was a bad time for the Bengals.
It was.
They were not good during that time.
Mm-mm.
So
You
all right,
gave me a
thanks for
new
the last-
topic: stadium experiences.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't have to be sports.
No. Well, we could always put that on the.
I wrote it down.
All right, last one. Which do you prefer the most, high school, college, or pro?
Wow.
Don't all answer at once.
They all, in my opinion, they all have their high ends, low ends, or yeah. That's a tough one for me. So Gary, go ahead. You start.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say it's kind of is a tough one, but if I had the opportunity to go on the same day to my pro team, the Bengals, my college team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, or my local high school football team, I think hands down I'd be going to an Ohio State Buckeyes game. So, but I love football. I mean, that's. I mean, Tom says he's a basketball guy. I love football to
Now,
pieces.
does it matter
So,
what team they're playing?
Okay, you're making it complicated here. If it's a playoff
I'm just
game,
throwing it out there. I mean,
if it's a playoff game and if the Bengals are like in the situation where they're getting ready to go, or it's an AFC Championship game or something like that, I would probably go to the Bengals game. But if it was a national championship game, I would probably go to the Buckeyes.
yeah. Okay.
So don't ask me. Don't complicate it any further because my mind don't work that
Nothing
way.
else? Tom, you got an answer yet?
I'll say this, yeah, and we've talked off air many times about the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yeah.
Locally, I mean, yeah, there are other rivalries around the country, that people will say, "Oh, we have the best rivalry." Well, yeah, okay, great. For me, for this area, Michigan-Ohio State rivalries tops the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The game itself, yeah.
And I honestly would say I don't personally, based on how I am, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, blah, 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 but based on how I am with my rooting and whatever,
Yeah.
I could not go to an Ohio State Michigan game, football, because it would be bad for me.
You got too much
Kind of thing.
invested.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm not. The rivalry is phenomenal. I mean, it's like in Jerry Maguire when Cuba Gooding Jr. says the qua.
Yeah.
That's what the Ohio State Michigan game or rivalry is, the qua,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't want to go to a game where, and I know there's fanatic Wolverine fans and fanatic Buckeye fans. Okay, great. I don't want to get in that mix. When I say fanatic, I'm talking, like, clench fist kind of thing. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to get into an argument. I don't want to, you know what I
Excuse me.
mean? And
So
there's
which
so
one
many
do you
great things.
prefer? I mean, of the three. I mean, obviously you don't want to go to
Oh.
Yale, but let's say Michigan and somebody else. Say Michigan State.
Oh,
Let's say which do you choose? I mean,
But is college your top?
or is it
prefer- that you
UT?
prefer?
that's what I was going to say. With pro, I think it would be cool to go to a pro game in every stadium in the
Yeah.
country. I think that would be an awesome experience. Someone I knew or heard the story about how a father and son went to a game in every major league ballpark in the
Yeah.
country. I was like,
Boy, how expensive
That-
would that be?
yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
But I mean, what an
You have a sponsor for
accomplishment,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
Well,
If we get a,
okay,
if we get a
here's a-
sponsor.
it's not football, but to share, my brother and I, when I lived in Maryland, he came to visit, and he's like, "Hey, let's go to a game at Camden Yards for the
Yeah.
Orioles," because my
Yeah.
brother's an architect, and Camden Yards at that time was, state of the art. So I sat there and I thought, "Hey, I think the Tigers are in town." My favorite team. My brother and I went to the game, had no tickets. We were going on hopes of, hey, maybe they're not sold out. We're walking to the ballpark, and this father and son were just ahead of us, and he heard us talking, and I made like comment of, "Man, I hope we can get tickets." And he turned, he's like, "You guys looking for tickets?" "Yeah, we're just going on a whim." He goes, "Well, my buddy canceled on me. Here you go." And we went to the game
Wow.
and I mean, that was a memorable time. So relate that to football, just a different sport.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is.
But
It is.
to see a Michigan game at Michigan Stadium with any Big Ten team, phenomenal
Yeah.
for me. I remember the Michigan Washington games were always big.
Yeah.
Non-conference back then. Yeah, but it was always a good rivalry. And I got to go to one game up there one time, and it was, wow, this is kind of cool.
So
I know that didn't answer the question.
No, it didn't. Not at
whatsoever,
all.
so-
Well, that's what I'd say. So you're preferring college over the other two?
Yeah, I
or
guess it'd be
East?
college.
I guess it'd be college.
Okay.
I
Alright.
guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Now,
as-
golf. No, I'm just kidding.
now, and I mean, this was a tough choice. Looking at each three, the fact that we've been discussing this. Truthfully, for me, I'm actually going to probably go out on a limb here and say high school. Because when Gia was, in high school and she was part of the band, and we went to the high school games, and got to experience those. As I said earlier, it was, and both of you know this. It's a different atmosphere, and you don't have to deal with the idiots that you deal with in the college football and the pro football stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the games aren't good,
Or
those
not that the
atmospheres.
idiots aren't there.
yeah, not that the
Yeah.
idiots are, but it's just it's more like I said earlier. I guess again I'm showing my age, being older. I feel more relaxed at a high school game than I do at a college or pro game. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I have to laugh, B-Dub, because you said, not that I'm, that I'm older, and it's like, you're still younger than myself and Gary.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm showing my age. I'm showing my age. Yes, I'm younger than out of all three of us, but I'm still showing my age. I'm in my 50s. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I can't, go free willing anywhere. And just
Free
do
Willy.
whatever I want. Free Willy, yes. No, we're not gonna free Willy here. Let's leave our Willies alone.
We'll do that. We'll do
Anyways.
that off screen.
But anyways, so truthfully, for me, I would go with high school. Yes.
That's how
whatever.
it's set up on my screen. You're right next to me,
I'm
B-Dub,
right
so
next to
there you
you.
go. Oh,
On my screen, you're below me.
okay.
So-
So
But
then,
anyway, so that's what I prefer. But anyway, so that is our topic about live experiences during football season, and this is something that we can actually expand on when it comes to, if you guys want to, going into our next episode. So we
okay,
kind of-
USFL.
No, and I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about watching it, and I kind of mentioned this to Dr. Lib before we got on. Going into watching it at home. Do you prefer watching it live, or you prefer watching it, on Memorex, or later on? I mean, because everybody's a lot of people do streaming now.
That could be a whole subject talking about watching it at home, or like a lot of people like to go to like sports bars
Sports bars,
or something like that and watch it on TV. To compared to our experience, that could be a whole topic of like we ran
So
through
that could
today.
actually be our next topic for our
Hmm.
next episode. So that's something that
And then we could get
can
into
do.
basketball.
Yeah,
Basketball season's starting to get closer and closer.
it's starting to get so it's hockey
Hmm.
season.
Yep.
We're coming up with that too. So that could be a coming episode. That could be the next episode, and maybe the next episode will actually have a name for this show that still has no name. But that's all I have. You guys got any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
I've been through the airwaves
Okay.
with the show.
Moving
with
on,
no
Gary, do you have any
name.
closing thoughts before we-
You have a mute button.
Yes, I do.
Oh no, I enjoyed the time that we had to share today, and it's
All
kind
right.
of kind of nice to listen to other people's opinions, and so it was pretty good. It was,
Okay.
there was a lot of P psychology going on here.
Yes.
P
Yeah,
philosophy,
whatever.
philosophy, or whatever it is. Shut up, Aristotle.
Love you too, brother.
I think you need a haircut. There's one sticking out there.
Well, before
Yeah,
we
it's
get
coming
here,
out of my nose.
Let's,
Yeah.
let's remind people that there is a poll out there. I will post it again on our social media posts.
Want to see my hairline disappear?
This is why I can never get through anything. Again, there is a poll out there. We're trying to come up with a name for this podcast. There's 5 choices on there. I will post it. Again, I'll put it on our personal pages, on the Therapy for the Mind show pages on social media, and also I'll put it in the description for the video on YouTube for this episode as well once this uploads. And you can go and vote on that. And we'll see next time what we're looking at and see if hopefully we actually have a name for this show. But until then, this is B-Dub.
Tommy K.
Dr. Lib.
And you've been listening or watching, actually, not listening. I can't say listening.
Listening and
You've
watching,
been
I guess.
served.
I mean, listen, unless you've had it on mute the whole time, which, well, I mean, some people might have. You've been watching the show that has not yet been named.